The roads of ancient Rome, how were they built? All roads lead to Rome. This adage encapsulates the significance of Roman highways. During the height of its expansion, it had built a road network that made it simple to get to Rome from wherever on the web. In this video, we'll discover why and how the roads were built, who ruled to do that, and much more. Stay with us. The roads of ancient Rome were a network of well-constructed and maintained roads that connected various parts of the Roman Empire. These roads were a crucial factor in the expansion and success of the Roman Empire, as they facilitated the movement of people, goods, and troops across vast distances. The road network established by the ancient Romans can still be utilized after serving the empire well for military, political, and commercial objectives. It aided the Roman Empire in establishing dominion over the areas it conquered. History of the Roman roads. The history of Roman roads dates back to the 4th century BC, when the Roman Republic began to expand its territory and needed a reliable way to move troops, goods, and supplies across vast distances. The earliest roads were built using primitive methods, such as clearing and leveling the ground and using gravel and dirt to create a rough surface. As the Roman Empire grew in size and power, so did the construction of roads. The Roman government invested significant resources in constructing and maintaining roads, which were seen as critical infrastructure for the empire's expansion. The roads were built using a layered construction method involving several material layers, including large stones, smaller stones, concrete, and paving stones. The streets were carefully engineered to be wide enough for 2 chariots to pass and were designed to be durable, easy to maintain, and resistant to erosion and weathering. The Roman roads were a significant engineering achievement and played a critical role in the expansion and success of the Roman Empire. They facilitated trade, commerce, and communication across vast distances and enabled the movement of troops and supplies during military campaigns. The legacy of the Roman roads can still be seen today, as many of the original roads have been preserved and some are still in use. They are a testament to the skill and ingenuity of ancient engineers and remain an enduring symbol of the power and influence of the Roman Empire. The roads of ancient Rome were marked by several distinctive features, such as milestones that marked the distance traveled and roadside shrines and temples that provided rest and shelter for travelers. The roads were also used for various purposes, including trade, transportation, military campaigns, and religious pilgrimages. These ancient Roman roads, called praetorian or consulary, contributed to the development of ancient Roman civilization throughout its dominion. The empire pursued infrastructure works until the twilight of its hegemony, ensuring strategic links with sound and innovative construction methods from the point of view of engineering and architecture. The roads of ancient Rome testify to the civil engineering skills at the service of the empire, enabling it to conquer lands, dominate peoples, and defend its borders. How did the Romans build their roads? The method at the base of constructing roads in the Roman Empire was rather complex. The first step was to define the edges and dig a deep trench. Inside this trench was placed 4 layers of various materials. The technical term via strata is the origin of the word road or street in Italian. Strata. The via were the roads that connected Rome with other cities, while those within urban centers were known as strategy. Our knowledge of the construction of roads by ancient Rome, usually for the military, then communication and commercial purposes, is thanks to literary testimony by writers like poets Publio Papino Stazio or Livio. Archaeology has also helped. The first of the 4 strata, or layers, was the statement, a base of blocks 30 centimeters high. The second layer was the rude ratio, or round stones mixed with lime. The third layer was the nucleus, gravel leveled with heavy rollers. The fourth layer was the pavimentum, significant, challenging, and virtually indestructible stone slabs. The completed road's curved surface allowed rainwater to flow to the sides where channels would disperse it. As for the measurements of these ancient Roman streets, the standard ranged between 4 and 6 meters in width. The bigger ones designed to pass 2 carriages were between 10 to 14 meters wide. Sidewalks or pavements for pedestrians were beaten down earth between 3 and 10 meters wide. Where roads were heavily used, these sidewalks were used by pedestrians and horses. The art of road construction in ancient Rome. The construction of roads during ancient Rome also include bridges to cross streams or rivers. Many of these are still struck today. If a planned route met an obstacle like boulders or mountainous terrain, tunnels were excavated by hand, so nothing ever came in the way of the construction of a road, and they were always straight. Along the side of these roads were milestones, small columns that marked the distance in miles, the unit of measurement adopted by the ancient Romans, deriving from the Malaria Aurae or Malarium Aureum, a marble column in gilded bronze erected inside the Roman Forum in 20 BC under Caesar Augustus. It represented the starting point for all the roads in the empire. The roads of ancient Rome, who were they named after? But what are the names of the main arteries of the road network of ancient Rome? The consulate, or roads, owe their names to the consul who ordered their construction. In other cases, they were named after the purpose for which they were built. They all started from the Roman Forum near the Temple of Saturn. From the end of the 4th century BC, the roads being built were numerous. Among the most important is the Appia, commissioned by the censor Appio Claudio Chico for military purposes. Then there is Via Valeria, built at the behest of the consul Marco Valerio Massimo as an extension of the Via Tiburtina that reached the Adriatic. Following is a list of the roads of ancient Rome still in existence and the respective connections. Via Aurelia, from Rome to Luni. Via Cassia, from Rome to Massa. Via Flaminia, from Rome to Rimini. Via Salaria, from Rome to San Benedetto del Tronto. Via Tiburtina, from Rome to Pescara. Via Casilina, from Rome to Santa Maria Capua Vetere. Via Appia, from Rome to Brindisi. The construction of the roads of ancient Rome. The construction of the roads of ancient Rome involved using several different materials and techniques which were carefully selected and combined to create a durable and efficient road network. Materials that were used. Large stones or boulders. These were used to create a solid foundation and placed at the road's bottom layer. Statement. This layer was made up of smaller stones, sand, and gravel and was used to improve drainage and stability. Concrete. A layer of concrete was poured and allowed to harden, creating a strong and stable base for the road. Pavement. The final layer of the road was made up of large stones or blocks that were carefully fitted together to create a smooth and level surface. Techniques that were used. Excavation. The ground was excavated to create a level surface for the road. Layering. The materials were layered one on top of the other to create a strong and stable foundation for the road. Compaction. Each layer was carefully compacted to ensure stability and durability. Drainage. The road was designed to have a slight slope, allowing water to drain off the road and preventing erosion. Roadside structures. Shrines and temples were built alongside the road to provide rest and shelter for travelers. The materials and techniques used to construct the roads of ancient Rome were innovative and advanced for their time. They enabled the construction of a vast network of roads that facilitated trade, communication, and military campaigns across the Roman Empire. Roman road types and layout. Like today, the Roman transportation network consisted of various types of roads, each with pros and cons. These ranged from small local dirt roads to broad stone-paved highways that connected cities, major towns, and military outposts. According to Ulpian, a 2nd century CE Roman jurist and one of the most significant legal authorities of his time, there were 3 major types of roads. Via Publicae. These were public or main roads built and maintained at the state's expense. These were the most important highways connecting the empire's most important towns. As such, they were also the most traveled, dotted by carts full of goods and people traveling through the vast empire. But although the state funded them, not all public roads were free to use. Tolls, such as bridges and city gates, were common at critical crossing points, enabling the state to collect import and export taxes on goods. Via Militari. Although Roman troops marched across all types of roads and terrain, for that matter, they also had their dedicated corridors in the road network. The military roads were very similar to public roads in design and building methods, but they were specifically built and maintained by the military. They were constructed by legionnaires and were generally closed to civilian travel. Via Privatae. These were private roads that were built and maintained by citizens. These were usually dirt or gravel roads since local estate owners or communities needed the funds and engineering skills to match the quality of private roads. Via Vicinali. Finally, secondary roads led through or towards a vicus or village. These roads ran into high streets or other via vicinales and could be either public or private. So, to sum it up, Even today, the roads of ancient Rome are distinguished by various features, including milestones that indicated distance traveled and roadside shrines and temples that gave respite and shelter to travelers. The roads were also utilized for trade, transit, military battles, and religious pilgrimages, among other things. The streets of ancient Rome are an astonishing accomplishment of engineering. It also demonstrates the empire's acute knowledge of the significance and value of a road network for military and commercial goals. So what do you think about the roads of ancient Rome? Are the roads built better now than then? Let us know in the comments.